Welcome to a Thursday, January 28th. Hopefully you're doing well. This is a video for those individuals who are currently absent or need some additional assistance. For your self-start today, we got 3 questions. First question is, if the number goes from 8.1 to 8.01, does it increase or decrease? For this type of problem, I like to think of it in terms of money. So I'm going to put kind of a $sign right there just to kind of help me out. And right there. So if I go from $8.10 to $8.01, does it increase or decrease? Well, that's a decrease because I went down in my amount of money I have. So write the formula you use to find percent increase, decrease. This is something we've been covering in the last 3 days now. It is difference divided by the original. Difference, remember, means to subtract. So at the beginning of the day, you have 15 pieces of gum, but then give some to your friends and now only have 9 pieces remaining. What is the percent decrease from the number of pieces of gum? Well, I need to subtract. So remember, difference means subtract. So I'm going to be doing 15 minus 9, which is going to give me 6. And I need to divide that by the original number of pieces of gum that I had. I started with 15, so that's what I'm going to divide by. So I'm going to do 6 divided by 15, and I'm going to get an answer of 0.4. Now remember, we have to take that decimal and turn it into a percent, and we do that by multiplying by 100, which is going to give me an answer of 40%. There's your thoughts for Chuck Norris today. Your first feedback on this unit will be tomorrow. You need to be able to identify if a number is increasing or decreasing. You need to be able to rewrite a fraction, decimal, or percent. You need to be able to solve a one-step equation and calculate the difference between 2 numbers. For today, we've done the self-start, so we're going to be talking about percent error. Percent error is very similar to what we've been practicing the last couple of days with percent increase and decrease, and I'll show you how. So to find a percent error, the formula is, and I hope you write this down if you're at home, measured minus the actual divided by the actual. So remember, we've been doing difference, which is subtract, divided by the original. So this is similar. We're going to be doing measured minus actual divided by actual. Measured means things like estimate or guess or determine or something like that, where you're not quite sure of an answer. So you're going to take your guess and subtract it from what the actual or the real number is, and then divide it by the actual number. So something that looks like this then. Miss Wilson estimated that there would be 7 people absent today due to illness. There were actually only 5 people absent. What was her percent error? So measured is what she guessed or estimated. So she estimated that there were going to be 7 people. 7 people that were going to be absent. But the actual number of people was only 5. So to solve it, we're going to do the measured, which was 7, minus 5, which was the actual, and that gives me 2. And then we're going to divide it by the actual, which was 5. So when I do 2 divided by 5, I get an answer of 0.4. I then do the same thing that I've been doing, and I'm going to multiply it by 100 so I can turn it into a percent. So the actual answer is 40%. So her error was 40%. There you go. So we're going to have people in class write down, or guesstimate, I guess, some answers to some questions on some paper, and we're going to solve how far off they were. So if you're at home, this might be a good thing to do. Take a paper, fold it in half, and then fold it in half again. Down the first column at the very top, I just want you to put measured. The second column, I want you to put actual. The third column, I want you to put measured minus actual divided by actual, and then the last column I want you to put the answer as a percent. So don't make silly little guesses, because if you do, you're going to have a big problem. You're going to get some really weird answers and cause a lot more work for yourself. So the first one is, how old do you think the oldest living person in the world is? So this is actually a picture of her. So I want you to take a guess and write it down. So I'm going to guess 120. If I look at the answer, she's actually 117. So this was my measured, so I'm just going to put a name up here so you see it. The actual was 117. So to solve it, we have to do measured minus the actual divided by the actual. So I'm going to do 120 minus 117, and I'm going to divide it by 117. So I'm going to get 3 divided by 117. When I do that on my calculator, I'm going to get a really long decimal, so I need to make sure that I times that by 100. And then I'm just going to use the first 3 numbers. So I'm going to get 2.56. Now, depending on what you guessed, your answer might be a little bit different, but just make sure that you're setting yours up the same way. So this is the answer. That last column should be the answer. Okay, how about this one? How many pieces of candy do you think are in the jar? Well, at home you really can't see the jar. So pretend it's a pickle jar. How many small Snickers do you think you could get in there? So I'm going to guess 40. So that's going to be my measured. The actual is 60. Okay, so I'm going to do measured minus actual. I'm having a hard time with the mouse today, so divided by actual. So I'm going to do 40 minus 60, or you could do 60 minus 40 as well. And that's going to give me 20. Remember, I can just drop off the negative for this unit. Divided by 40. So when I do 20 divided by 40, and then times it by 100, I get an answer of 50%. So my answer, my last column, I'm going to put 50%. Okay, how about this one? In inches, I want you to estimate the world record for the tallest person ever. And just a reminder that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So this is a picture of him. So I want you to guess in inches how tall the world's tallest person is. So I'm going to say 130 inches. So this is my measured. So it says in 1940, doctors measured John Rogan at 107, which translates to 8 feet 11 inches. That's a tall person. So the actual was 107. So I'm going to subtract those, and I'm going to get 23. And I'm going to divide it by the actual, which is 107. So I'm going to do 23 divided by 107. And I'm going to multiply that by 100. And I'm going to get an answer of 21.49%. So I was 21.49% off of the actual answer. Not a very good guess. Okay, now be nice with this one. I want you to estimate how old you think Mr. Teal is. How old am I? So, I just showed you the answer, but that's okay. I'm actually 43. So if you would have guessed, say, 50, first off, you're not very nice, but that's okay. So the measured was 50, actual was 43. So the different, or the actual, or measured minus actual would have been 7 divided by the actual, which is 43. So I'm going to do 7 divided by 43. And I'm going to make sure to multiply it by 100. And I'm going to get an answer of 16.28%. So I was 16.28% off. So there you go. There's kind of a rundown of how to do it. If you have any questions, let me know. Email me, message Canvas, and we'll hopefully see you back soon.